All right. Well, hello, everyone. All right. Thank you for joining us. I want to welcome all of you this evening to Andrea's Juice Plus Freedom Revolution event. My name is Danielle Colavito. I am in New York, as many of you are as well. And tonight I'm going to be hosting this call along with my dear friend and colleague, Melissa Falco, who's joining us from California. So tonight we're here in order to network with mission-driven people on the topic of family health. And you've all been invited because Andrea really respects you and she cares about you, and she'd really love for you to know what we're all up to. So tonight it's going to be relaxed and fun. We're not going to ask you to buy anything. We're not asking you to sign up for anything. We're really just looking to share some quick information and some stories with you. And we hope that, you enjoy your evening, and while you're listening, maybe you think of somebody that is in your life that might be needing to hear the information that we share. So we just want to thank you again for coming. And I will preface this by saying, if it looks like Melissa and I are reading off of some note cards, it's because we are, because there's a lot of information. We just don't want to miss anything. So just bear with us. But to kick it off, I'm going to ask you guys a question. There's no test. You don't have to raise your hand or really answer back, but something to think about. Wouldn't you agree that health today can be a bit challenging? I'd certainly say yes. We all want to look good, we want to feel good, and we want to live a long, healthy life. And we know it's our job to try and make this happen. But unfortunately, it can be complicated, sometimes unpleasant, and oftentimes it's confusing. So that's really where we come in. And I'd like to introduce you to a movement that is called the Healthy Living Revolution. And Andrea, Melissa, and myself, along with thousands of others, really are a part of this unique community where together we're taking our health back, and we're doing it in simple, doable, fun ways. So the goal of the Healthy Living Revolution is to come alongside families who want better health, to meet them where they're at, and empower them to make positive changes along the way. So I'm going to take you through, the following 3 doorways that we inspire healthy living around the world. The first is through free resources. The second is through nutritional support. And the third is the organization that makes it all possible. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Melissa, who's going to talk a little bit more about that in detail. And you're on mute. There you go.
Thank you. Sorry about that. My kids were screaming in the background. Okay, so the first we have is the free resources. And the Healthy Living Revolution team has created a selection of fantastic resources for families to use. We have a cookbook of clean, easy recipes, short webinars on trending health topics, a home fitness series, and a Start Strong program, which is designed to raise up a generation of active, healthy children with a positive body image and good nutritional habits. You may want to take a look at these resources, so we'll make sure that Andrea will send you the link to the Healthy Living Revolution website. It's just the most amazing gift that we've been given, and I try to pass it along to everybody. In terms of nutritional support, so let's talk about that a little bit, which is basically the foundation of good health. We have to flood our bodies with the most important foods we could ever eat, which are raw, fresh fruits, vegetables, and berries. They're not just good for you, they're absolutely critical. And we know that we're supposed to eat a wide variety of 9 to 13 servings every day, but almost nobody does. I know I don't. I try my best, but gosh, it's hard. Even the best eaters need help, and that's why why we're so thankful for the nutritional support of something called Juice Plus. Okay, so Danielle, I'm going to pass this to you to talk a little bit about the products and explain what they are and how they work.
Absolutely. Okay. So Juice Plus is over 30 different raw, vine-ripened whole foods. It's non-GMO and NSF certified to be pure, and I like to call it a salad bar in a capsule, actually. And so for those that are viewing, or if you watch this recording, you can see, I'm going to hold it up here, we have the fruit blend, we have a vegetable blend, and a berry blend. And what I love, actually, if you look on the label of the ingredients are listed right here. And you can simply see you've got apples, peach, cranberry, orange, mango, lemon peel, acerola cherries, pineapples, prunes, dates, beets. Those are the ingredients that are in your Juice Plus, just the fruit blend alone, right? So it's important to understand the process, though, that the fruits and vegetables go through to be encapsulated or to put into a chewable form. I'm going to just open this up too so you can see what a capsule looks like when we say encapsulated. So all of those fruits that I had just mentioned are all in this capsule, and they're also put into a chewable form, okay? Now the fruits, the vegetables, and the berries are completely vine ripened. They remain attached to the plant until the nutrition is fully developed. So then the fruits and vegetables are ground up, which is better than just juicing. And we use the entire whole food. That includes the peels, the leaves, and the seeds whenever possible, which provides much more nutrition. So if you take an orange, for example, up to 80% of the vitamin C in an orange is actually found in the peel. And I know for myself, and I don't know about you, but I'm not eating that many orange peels too often. But I get all of that in my Juice Plus, which is really cool. It's then dried at low temperatures, preserving the live nutrients, and then it's put into the capsule or the chewable form. Okay. And thanks for just joining us if someone just hopped on. So here's what else I love about the Juice Plus. It's scientifically proven. So Juice Plus is the most thoroughly researched nutritional product in the world, with over 35 published studies in peer-reviewed medical journals. That's really, really a big deal. It's food. It's not a vitamin. It's not a supplement. And it carries a nutrition label, not a vitamin label, as you can see here on the back. Nutrition facts, okay, right there. And that shows you that it's food. It's the same label you're going to see if you go to the grocery store and you pick up some frozen broccoli, right? So the government considers this food. There's no warning label, so it's safe for people of all ages, including pregnant and nursing moms, children, elderly, and even professional athletes. There's also the chocolate and vanilla complete. This is what the chocolate complete happens to look like, which is vegan, it's gluten-free, it's whole food protein, there's fiber, amino acids, and fruits and vegetables in a shake powder. It's great for a quick breakfast, a post-workout recovery, or a healthy snack. And here in our home, we use it for all of that. We all have it with our breakfast or before breakfast. We have it after school as snacks, before sporting events. And I love to have it after I work out too. Now I'm just going to talk a little bit about our Omega Blend capsules, our complete bars, and the Tower Garden, which are just other excellent ways that we help people get more whole foods into their diets. The complete bars are just 2 flavor bars. There's a chocolate one and a cherry one, which make for really great snacks. You can stick in your bag on the go, stick in a kid's lunchbox, keep in your desk drawer at work to sort of curb your appetite or keep you from getting too hungry.
I keep them in my car.
Yes, your car is also, if you're driving around a lot, great.
Always driving.
Then there's the Omega capsules. So what sets this apart from a typical Omega that you're probably used to is you might be taking an Omega-3, if at all. This is actually a wide spectrum, Omega, with Omegas 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9, which are all sourced from plants. So this is a completely vegan Omega from the Omegas that you get right down to the capsule. I'm going to show you one of these because it's got the beautiful oils inside. No fish were harmed for this. We go straight to the plant source, straight to the algae, as well as pomegranate and grapeseed oil and all sorts of good stuff in there. So I love that. And the Tower Garden, which I can't show you in person because mine are outside and it's raining in New York and dark out, but here's a photo of the Tower Garden, which is a vertical aeroponic growing system so that you can grow your own fruits and vegetables in 3 feet of space with no soil at all, indoors or outdoors, all year long, truly. And this is, again, just another really great tool to have in your family to add more nutrition into your diet. There's also a 4-month program with a 10-day jumpstart that we like to call the Shred 10. So together, we shred foods and habits that aren't serving us, and we stay closely connected for support and encouragement. It's something that Andrea has been a part of for the last few years, as well as it's my own personal journey. I'll share a little bit about that when I share my story, but you can certainly visit the website shred10.com for more information on that. So with that, I do want to share my story a little bit with you on how our family has sort of gone through this Juice Plus journey, as we call it. And Melissa was actually the one who shared Juice Plus with me about 4 years ago. And it made complete sense because I knew my family wasn't getting, as much fruits and vegetables as we should be. I had no idea how many servers we should be eating, but I was just basically making sure that we were eating relatively healthy. I knew what healthy was, but I wasn't counting our servings of fruits and vegetables. And I knew there was a lot of room for improvement. My kids at the time were only 2 and 4, and they were sick all the time. My oldest was chronically ill, actually. And so I knew something had to be done. And since adding Juice Plus into their diets, they ate the chewables that I showed you earlier. They drank the shake every morning for breakfast. I noticed what started to happen with them is when they would get sick, they started fighting it off really quickly. And now they actually hardly ever get sick with very little symptoms at all, if any. And my younger guy, who suffered from chronic constipation and eczema, has not had any eczema in years and no longer suffers from constipation at all. And fortunately, because we also have a tower garden as well and have been able to grow our own vegetables all year long, we do grow them indoors in the winter as well with the grow lights. They've been exposed to really great food. And so through that and having the Juice Plus in their system, their taste buds have totally changed. And from being once sick kids that were really picky eaters, they now have a really great diet. And as a mom, that's a big, big mom win. Personally, for me, I mentioned a little bit about this Shred 10 program, and that was something that I jumped into when Melissa shared Juice Plus with me. I was someone that needed a little bit of, kick in the tail, if you will, to kind of jumpstart my health. And so I jumped into this program where I was shedding the, unhealthy habits that and foods that really just weren't serving my body anymore, and really started flooding my body with not only the nutrition of Juice Plus, but eating really clean in a supportive community. And I was able to really month after month adopt it as a lifestyle. And so where I once was experiencing chronic joint pain in my knees, my hair falling out, my skin was bad, I had hardly any energy. And because, again, my kids were always sick, I was always getting sick. And forget about the baby weight that I just couldn't get off, through month after month of following this program and really developing a much better relationship with food. The joint pain went away. Obviously, the hair grew back and then some. The skin cleared up. I have way more energy. I'm in the best shape of my life now than I ever was even before having kids. And all of that baby weight definitely went away. And I love that with my husband, who chronically used to experience sinus infections, at least, 2 really bad ones every winter. I probably can say he's probably had about 2 in the last 4 years, which is a really big deal. And he has not needed to go on any types of medication for having a family history of high blood pressure or high cholesterol. I would say he always was in the borderline range. And in the last year, his numbers finally have lowered, which is a really great thing anytime you can keep someone off medication. So I'm super grateful that Melissa shared this with our family. I didn't realize how sick we were until we started getting ourselves healthy. So I'm going to transition it back over to Melissa so she can share a little bit about her story, and then we'll continue on.
Thanks, Danielle. It tears me up every time because I sit here and think about, I had no idea that you were even looking for something. It was all social media that connected us. And I just, it's just an awesome thing when we can put tools in people's hands that really makes a difference. And for me, it was kind of a similar situation in the sense that I wasn't looking for anything. I was in a position where I was working a pretty strong 6-figure job, working a lot. I was in my 20s, like mid-20s, and just running the candle at both ends, if you would. It was about 60 to 80 hours a week. I was on my feet a lot. I was entertaining clients constantly. I was out all the time, traveling a bunch. I had a dog walker come and walk my dog 2 times a day. And, for me at the time, I wasn't necessarily thrilled, I guess, with my health situation, but I wasn't really there wasn't really any pressing thing either. So I wasn't looking for a change, but I got a phone call that really changed my life. And my dad called me one day, and I was sitting out here in California, had recently moved out, and told me that he had been diagnosed with cancer. And it instantly just hit me like, right through the eyes. And I just kept thinking, what on earth can I do to keep him alive as long as possible? Because he was my best friend and my everything. And so I started really researching, and having gone to grad school, I was looking through journals, like real serious journals, trying to figure out what was the was there a silver bullet? Was there something out there? And what I was finding was that everybody agreed on one thing. They disagreed on lots of stuff, but the one thing they all had in common, and they all seemed to find peace with, was that the more fruits and vegetables we consume, the more protected we are from everything. And it was worked into everybody's recommendation at some point in time. And so I just started down that path with him and said, hey, listen, why don't we try, eating more recipes? Like maybe we do a vegan night, or a meatless Mondays, or that kind of stuff, and sending him recipes. And about a year and a half later, he had gone through his surgery. He was quote unquote cancer free. But, when you're dealing with something like that, you have to understand that if your body created a climate for it to show up, then it's very likely that it could show up again. And I knew that. And so when Juice Plus came into my life, it was my husband that introduced me to it. He was the one who said, hey, you're eating all organic and stuff. You're going to love this. And me, being a true New Yorker, was like, oh, that's so cute. He totally fell for it. It's just one of those things, And I completely dismissed it and didn't take him seriously. So I understand the skeptics out there. And it took me about 6 months of, realizing that I really liked this guy. And he wasn't trying to sell me anything. He was really just trying to help. And he was excited about it because it made a difference in his family's life. That I started looking into it more. And the best thing that I ever did was go to a talk. And that was, his sister had invited me to go hear a medical professional speak. And we have these talks all over the country, every day of the week, pretty much around the world. And you can always find somebody. And it's a pretty special thing when you get to go and hear from a medical professional to explain the science of something so simple as fruits and vegetables, and yet so affordable and so accessible to us all, that can make such a huge impact. And it really got my attention. And so I started to kind of look into all the reasons why my dad needed it. Still, again, not thinking that I needed it. I was in my 20s. But I said to myself, okay, you know what? If I'm going to get him on it, I've got to be a rep, because there's no way he's going to buy it from anybody else. And I'll just do it for moral support. Can't hurt, right? And so that was the reason that I fell into this whole experience 10 years ago. And, fast forward my personal experience, we truly believe as a family that this gave him an extra 10 years of life. And that was a really incredible period of time for us. In that time frame, I got married. I had 2 children. There were times I flew back and forth all the time. He had quality of life. He wasn't on pain meds until the last 3 months of his life. And that is a huge deal. He actually, the doctors couldn't believe it. Every time they looked through his blood work, they said, this doesn't make any sense why your blood work looks so good, and yet you have this serious illness. And, in the end, I look back and I just think, like, I'm so grateful that I did share, but for me personally, I was really surprised to see my migraines went away. The inflammation was reducing in my body, and I didn't know that I even had it. I just thought that was something I was born with and suffered for 10 years with. They disappeared. My skin started to brighten, and people started to stop me and say, hey, what are you doing? Are you going to get facials, or what's going on? And I was like, I don't know. No, I'm just taking these little silly pills, And, and I started to see my digestion get a lot better. My energy was way more sustained. And I felt like I was craving more fruits and vegetables, and I was already eating pretty well, but it was just, it was a shift. And I really need a cucumber now, it's a really silly kind of a thing. But, I'm going to stop there with my story because, obviously it's led me down this road, and we'll talk a little bit more about the business side of things as we go further. But I just wanted to say, everybody comes into this from different directions for different reasons. And so it's really special to walk this journey with people, because we never know where it's going to take them, and we never know how it's going to show up in their body. And really amazing things have happened to so many thousands of people that we've talked to over the last 10 years. It's been amazing. So thank you all for being on tonight. So I'm going to transition here into, we're going to talk a little bit about the Freedom Revolution, which is our business community. The main mission of the Juice Plus company is to bring freedom through improved health. So it's important to know that about 80% of all Juice Plus is used by happy customers who have zero affiliation with the company. And I love that we're based in a customer care experience. Serving these customers are those of us who have partnered with the company as a business opportunity. We're paid well to do a lot of good. As you listen to our stories, perhaps you'll think of someone in your life that may need to hear what's possible. First, let's address 2 common questions about the Juice Plus company. how does it work? People always want to know, right? I had a lot of assumptions coming in and I was very surprised, but the business is open to anyone that's 18 years or older. It's called a virtual franchise, and it's $50 per year to own. So you pay your $50 like a Costco membership, and it gives you the rights to own a business. We have an online office and personal website. We run business from any device, anywhere, at any time. We can earn residual income by simply sharing Juice Plus by word of mouth, and really the company does everything else for us. They manufacture the Juice Plus, they deliver and bill and collect from our customers, and they pay us directly through direct deposit monthly. There's no inventory to keep. The only Juice Plus we touch is our own, which I appreciate because my garage is about 95 degrees right now. All commission levels are permanent. There's no quotas or minimums. And there's a freedom to work at your individual pace, which makes it really flexible for people. There's no glass ceiling or income or territorial restrictions. And the Juice Plus company is in over 20 countries, if you can imagine. So these are some of the key points that I love so much. The company was formed nearly 50 years ago by President and founder Jay Martin, who's still at the helm today. We see him all the time. He's very actively involved in what we do. We're a privately held, debt-free, multi-billion-dollar company. We offer a family benefits package at the top positions, including medical, dental, disability, life, long-term care, chiropractic, massage allowance, and prescriptions, along with college assistance, holiday bonus, and monthly expense allowance. Can you believe that? And the business can produce short-term cash, or it can be a long-term wealth-building strategy for people even into their retirement. I have to say, my dad, being in the financial industry, said to me at one point in time, if you work this business 5 hours a week, Melissa, he said that would be a stronger investment than a 401k. I couldn't believe it. And by the way, Juice Plus, not only does Juice Plus company inspire healthy living, but healthy giving as well. It's impacted over 1 million families so far with free Juice Plus for children through our Children's Health Study. We're the title sponsor at the St. Jude's Memphis Marathon weekend, where we raise millions per year. We're highly involved in the Boys and Girls Club and the Volunteers of America. And let us know afterwards if you want to understand more about how we're making a difference in these places, because we really are doing a lot of good, and there's just not enough time to cover it all here tonight. So I'm going to take a quick minute, and I gave you some snippets about sharing my business story, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper just so you understand kind of why I'm here. Our team reached the top level of the company a few years ago, and it was really an extraordinary experience. You know, when I first started this whole journey, again, it was just to get my dad healthy. There was no financial desires on my part at all. I had a big job. It was paying me well. I had a car allowance. I had a great job. I'm so sorry for my dog. It wasn't what drove me to say yes to this business. It was really out of the love for my dad that I said yes, because frankly, I just knew he wasn't going to buy it from anybody but me. And so with that, it kind of took me down a road of self-discovery. And I look back at now after I have time to reflect, and I think, gosh, it was such a big gift to give him, but what a big gift he gave me too, that he landed me into this profession. Over the past 10 years, I can't tell you how many friends I've made, how many places I've traveled to. It's given me the freedom and the flexibility to say goodbye to my corporate job, to work here from home, as chaotic as it can be sometimes. Sorry for the interruptions, with my 2 little girls who are just, they're everything to me. And I always saw myself as a corporate woman, but I never imagined I could be at home too. And that's really special, to be able to combine both things and still go out there and make a difference and still serve my community. And really, I'm involved in everything. I get to do everything at their school that I want to, and I get to say no to the things I want to also, but all along, it's been such an incredible growth experience, I think, for me, and the time freedom and the flexibility and, the benefits and all of the things that come along with this huge experience. I can't imagine not sharing it with my friends, because frankly, you get a lot of time, and when you have the financial freedom, you want people to spend that time with and do fun things together. So it just made sense to me to really kind of branch out in that direction. And Danielle and I have known each other since we were 7, which we just love. It's been the coolest, reconnection ever. So there may be people in your life that, this makes you think of, who do I love that I would love to spend time with that would be interested in learning something like this about this. And we're happy to, help you share that in any way we can. But I'm going to pass this over to Danielle and have her share her story, because it is different and they're all unique and it's so special. So go ahead, Dan.
Thank you, Melissa. And I love that everyone's story is so different because our lives are different. And like you said, we all come to this for a different reason with a different set of life experiences. And so when Melissa shared this with me about 4 years ago, like I said, the products made sense, but I tried to say no to the business. I really didn't want to say yes to it. I didn't need any job. I was working a full-time job as an event planner, 50 plus hours a week, nights and weekends, with my 2 little kids who were 2 and 4 at daycare. So shoveling them back and forth. And I really couldn't imagine putting anything else on my plate, nor was I looking for anything. But I really couldn't find a reason to say no when I took the time to listen and learn a little bit more about what this was all about. And I'm grateful that I did take the time to listen, because I really could have never foreseen where our life would have gone had I not. Now, I said yes, obviously, because similar to Melissa, she cared about her dad. I cared about my children and our own family. And that's really all my focus was. I wanted to get our family healthy. I thought about my father, who didn't have a great health as well, and I thought he could benefit from this. And I figured, my sister and her kids, why not? I'm sure they're not eating well. They can benefit from some more fruits and vegetables. And that's really all I cared about. But as I started to learn a little bit more, I really could not share it with anybody else, with that, keep it for myself and not share it with other people. This really was just too important to not share with my friends and my family, because everybody deserves good health and everybody deserves good nutrition. And it is so easy. I was able to make simple changes in our home, and I saw how my kids were getting healthier, and my husband and myself. And I naturally was able to just weave this into my life, even though I was working 50 plus hours a week. It was something that I was able to just seamlessly weave through. And again, I would have never expected it, but about 2 years ago, I was able to walk away from that event planning career. And now, as I like to say, be a full-time mom on a mission. And so when I never expected to be the mom who could pick her kids up at 3:00 after school, I now can do that. And I can take them to birthday parties on a Saturday. I'm not working unless I choose to work on a Saturday. It's my schedule that I'm creating, and I can build it around my family's life, which is beautiful. And the way in which Melissa mentioned too, how you can do this with your friends and your family and whomever you choose, and the relationships that you make is truly priceless. And I love the fact that my kids have been growing up now the last couple of years, seeing mommy do this work, and they get to come alongside me and come to events and come to share with other kids or educational events that I do. And they're right up there with me, educating as well, which is totally, totally priceless. Again, total another mom win. So for that, again, I'm so grateful, because I never would have imagined that, 4 years ago, fast forward, my family would be in the position that it's in right now, where I can be that work from home mom. I just never envisioned it. And so, it's a beautiful thing. And why I will continue being this mom on a mission, sharing it with anyone else that would like to hear. So we don't want to take any more of your time too much tonight. We really do appreciate you hopping on and listening for us. So we're going to wrap it up. And we really just want to close with this. So we really, like we said, we're excited to network. That's what we do. We network. And we network with 2 types of people. There's people who are ready to take the next step in their health. And whether it's to just check out the free resources that Melissa had talked about earlier, or to make life easier by adding Juice Plus, it only costs $2 or $3 a day. Kids actually get it for free. And it's really the simplest and most convenient and affordable way to get massive amounts of nutrition into a busy family. Then there's anybody that wants to earn a stable residual income in order to expand their options while making a difference. So that's where the Freedom Revolution comes in, like we talked about. And that's where it can give parents the financial peace of mind to choose mom and dad care instead of daycare. Hardworking professionals can choose to build their own dreams instead of someone else's. College kids can build a side gig and pay for school without having to get a job. Empty nesters can increase retirement so that there's more than enough to go around and enjoy life and then give still to future generations. And this all takes place using a simple system with positive, fun community that we like to call the Juice Plus family. And like we said, maybe there's somebody that you're thinking about in your life, and you can ask yourself, who do I know who needs to hear this? What if Juice Plus could help them? If there's somebody that you think about, you can certainly invite them to one of the events that Melissa was talking about, or connect them with Andrea to learn a little bit more about Juice Plus and some of the information you learned this evening. But for this evening, again, we just want to thank you all for taking the time out of your evening to hop on here, to support Andrea, to hear what we've got going on. And that's really all. So I want to thank you again. I'm going to end this recording. So give me one.
Hey, Andrea.
moment.
We are so happy to have you.